Que lo Kentucky, it's your guy, Fighter Complex 7. And tonight we have a special guest with a special topic. And as you can see, it says, should women be police? And we have this young lady here who is an actual police officer. But for now, I want you guys, I want the crowd to build, the audience to build. So I'm going to play some music. And you guys stay patient. Y'all see she here. Many times guests don't pop up. They don't pull through, And I have to change the topic and do it solo. But she here in the building. Depending if she's comfortable, at the end, when I'm done with my questions and everything, I will allow people to hop on the panel.
But that's fine.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, she says she tough, y'all. So I don't know, man. She says she tough. So so I'm gonna play a couple music videos, whatever. I know a lot of y'all don't like hip hop, but too bad. This is my channel, my rules. So yeah, let's get it. Oh man. Oh, having technical difficulties. Hold on. Everybody hit that like button coming in. Everyone hit that like button coming in. I'm just waiting for the crowd to build, you heard? And the show will start. Let's get it.
Know who the fuck it is. The Vino, Y'all ain't built for this unprecedented effortlessness. No equivalent to the skill I spit for the shift in the room. When I enter, all eyes on me. The gift and the curse, I spoke and get an introvert. I play kudo while I twist the purpose to perfection. Herbal essence helps to ease the stressing. To my tombstone, I'ma keep it G, no question. But it's a shame seeing the youth with no direction. So we lead by example, beats get trampled. Double D's by the handful. Fuck a handout, I straight up hustle and stay humble. So act like I owe you something and I'ma make you pay double. Faking the funk, tripping like you lacing your blunts. Thinking I ain't the one chosen to remain golden. Manifesting my destiny while they stay hopeless. Soon to be hopping out the Range Rovers. Yo, it ain't over. Far from it, I ain't even got it started yet. And I'm feeling like God in the flesh. Let it be known my whole clique sharp as Gillette's. Leaving all city carved in your chest. Yo, it ain't over. Far from it, I ain't even got it started yet. And I'm feeling like God in the flesh. Let it be known my whole clique sharp as Gillette's. Leaving all seen carved in your chest. Yo, we building pyramids. They peers ain't even near the kid. Take a swig of the Dominican rum, we getting drunk. Nugs of the skunk, twisted in blunts. Blessing them beats, intelligent speech from the jump. I spit it complete, they're incomparable. Don't like my rhymes since got dive without a parachute. My parables are the clearest truth. Rarest jewels in the form of rhymes. Why conform the trends when my presence been immortalized? Fortified, full mentalism, clipping
so about to start soon, baby.
Just like shorty thighs when I'm done fucking in my nuts. Busted these dudes been wiping cum buckets. Tell me to dumb it down, I'll just sharpen my blade. My light still illuminates in the darkest of days, regardless of plays on airwaves. When it's feel just like burning blunts and project stairways, higher than an airplane. Yo, this ain't a fair game. So my flow stay in the pocket just like spare change. Motherfucker.
Give me your rain and give me devotion. I wanna dive inside your ocean.
Yo, the show gonna start when more people come through. I need a bigger audience, man. Come on, let's go. We're gonna have a good show for y'all today. So y'all get that like button, hit the like button up, tell everybody to come through. But the show's gonna start soon, y'all. So I'm just waiting for the audience to build up. Once I hit like 12 people, let's get it.
Give me your rain and give me devotion. I wanna dive inside your ocean. Serve me love, I need some ocean. Want you in skin tonight. Make sure you keep keep it tight. After the ring, I'll give you my doses. Taking me back, but holding me only. Why? If you could see the way you be rolling, you would say it's a lie, but that was every night.
And it was an ill thing.
Can't relate. Apparently we in family, you can't relate. Apparently we in family, you can't relate. I'm ill prepared, stupid ready. My tail on tape, super heavy. I've been felt at welter and bantamweight. Apparently we in family, you can't relate. Death prompts receive, want my conscience clean, no regret. Putting hands on cannons for your picture, you could pose a threat. Boundary seized by the town thieves, don't overstep. Value some of your health, humble yourself, show respect. Beef ignited, what felt the least bit slighted, we chose to rep. These clones around me hunting for a bounty like Boba Fett. The worst invading perpetrators are the ones you don't suspect. So never get crossed by gift horse like when the Trojans slept. I'm ill prepared. They brand bill. I speak of shit that got my man killed. Play our song, get hated on by those who can't stand real. Couldn't sit calm, they sit calm and flick harms or spoke news. Cross the board, if I'm forced to draw, we both lose. On this block, it's clocking alarm the numbers. Don't snooze, I wrote the rules with motives. Stole the show, left no clues. From House of Fallen Cards, saw the R's, learn a ball and dodge. All the righteous brothers recite nuggets, we called them guards. I'm trying to use my talents to tell, to balance my scale. Shit was rigid, only visit to an Allen was jail and rise to Rikers. With moms from diapers. The price to survive them long nights was a heavy toll. Grave thoughts buried up in every soul. The warm heart tender beings end up being very cold. Some need battery in they back. Almost perpetual, padded pockets as erratic novice, now smooth professional. Won't die in battle, mommy dipped me in that river Styx. When the sucker tried to rupture my Achilles, I didn't miss. The home we grace, only place ignorance is in bliss. A crapshoot for Kai, cause every night two die. Get the gist, unfortunate is what they called us, cause our fortunes at birth. It's clear I greet, the air is sweet. I'm a soul to the earth, I'm ill prepared. Apparently we in family. Horseless night, taught to fight, wasn't taught to squeeze. It's better know to hear they never bolded like Portuguese. You girls that shared it with the world when they caught disease. You supposed goons that told as soon as they got caught with keys. I fashion less crimes of passion, more crimes of treason. You'll find enough time, they just rhyme. I rhyme for a reason. I admit they got some hits. That's why I'm here, Bob and weaving, I'm ill prepared. Apparently we ain't family, you can't relate. Come on, man. We need one more person in the building. Huh? You said
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. She a mama, y'all. She's a mama. Okay, we got 12 people in the building, so we're gonna start the show. We're gonna start the
I'm
show.
back.
Okay, so what's going on, Kay? What's going on, Kay?
Nothing much, you know, chilling.
Oh, all right. So, okay, so we know, Kay. I know you're a police officer. You're from, the East Coast, but now you relocated to the Midwest. And is there anything else that you want to share about yourself? Maybe your upbringing.
I mean, so myself, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a lawyer, but
Okay.
I had kids. My first kid I had at 17. So everyone knows that law school is like you have to be like fully committed for that. So I threw that away. I went to school to be a nurse. That didn't work out for me. Then switched. I switched. Go ahead. I switched over from that the human service, and now I'm in psychology. And then I started working at a jail, and I was like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And then I became a police officer.
Okay, so you were a correctional officer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's funny. That's interesting. I didn't know that about you because I was gonna say, man, the next guest I have, I want to interview a female correction officer because I was on the opposite end of that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting that you're here because now we could like knock out two birds with one stone. You
Facts.
know. Um. So now let me ask you this first before like anything. Why were you so interested into maybe criminal justice or that that field?
So the reason why, okay, so I would never major in criminal justice because I can do the same thing I'm doing now with a degree in psychology. I think that having a degree in psychology helps you understand people more. Criminal justice is more so understanding the justice system. I don't want to understand the justice system because sometimes, honestly, it's flawed. It is really flawed. So I want to
Correct.
understand the person behind whatever's going on more so than just the system in itself.
Okay. Okay. So what you're basically saying is that you can understand or you know how to deal with people.
Yes.
You know.
That's what I try to do. Now we do come across those people that are just like, fuck the police, I don't want to talk to you, period. Then that's cool. But I try to get people to talk rather than always like just coming in hot. I don't want to be that cop. You get what I'm saying? There's enough of those cops. You get what I'm saying? So the only way to change the image of the police officer is to become one and to try to do better, do
Mm.
more good than bad. You get what I'm saying?
That's great. I love that comment. I love that answer because a lot of a lot of people, especially of our own kind, right? Like Hispanic, Black, Caribbean people, we all have like this. We have negative outlook, or we have this negative position when it comes to police officers, right?
Hmm.
And where do you think that comes from? People
History.
having that negative stance.
I mean, history in itself. I mean, even the present. I mean, if you look at what's going on now in the world, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't agree with a lot of the shit that has been going on. You know what I'm saying? That has been going on lately and in the world. But now that I'm a police officer, I understand certain things more. So before I was like, damn, they're wilding for no reason. But people have to understand that we have to go home to our families too. You get what I'm saying? Like I would never condone shooting an innocent person. However, if a person presents a deadly firearm, it's like it's either you or me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
okay, well, you can talk them off the ledge, 110%. You could try, but what happens if you can't?
Listen, personally, myself, last year, around when quarantine, like in the early summer, maybe like late spring, around the
Hmm.
time it started. Well, I went to like a march, and I didn't even go to the march because I believed in the march. I went to the march more because it was a female that was gonna go, and she invited me, and me, so I could bond with her. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it real.
Hmm.
I didn't go for the actual situation that happened where they were protesting because I don't believe in people. How can I say this? Like they're promoting this hate towards police officers because
Hmm.
I personally believe. Well, no, this is the reality. Most police officers are human beings, and
Hmm.
a lot of them they take on that role of becoming a police officer, working in the law enforcement, not only because of the money, because it's monetary, right?
Hmm.
Also because a lot of times they're passionate about it, and maybe maybe they've had family members in the past who were military or were police or firemen or like you said, um working in the hospital or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So it's like almost you want to contribute to society. So at the end of the day, these people they don't want to. They don't wake up early in the morning. They have kids. They have bills. They have family. They have issues just like you and me.
Mhm.
I don't think they wake up in the morning saying, "I want to kill somebody today."
Facts.
If anything, you don't want to deal with that paperwork. You don't want to
Facts.
deal. You don't want to deal with the stress,
None of it. None of
right?
it.
So I think basically what I want to promote is the negative stigma that we have in the inner city of people of color, whatever you want to call us, that we have with the police. You
Mhm.
know, even drug dealers, even street people, they know that the police are there for a reason.
Mhm.
To protect. They're there to
Facts.
protect.
Because if first thing, here's the thing: people don't understand that. Again, it's our job. You get what I'm saying? And they're so like fuck the police, but when something go wrong, who's the first person they call? The police. You get what I'm saying? Someone robbed their shit. Who's the first person they call? The police. If someone, God forbid, starts shooting, who's the first person they call? The police. You get what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and be like fuck the police because at the end of the day, we're needed. That's just how I
Yes.
personally feel.
Yeah. 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 Because you can't have it like there's people who have the sentiment of, oh, ban guns, right? Ban guns. Okay. All right, ban guns. You don't want no guns, but people are still gonna commit crimes, man.
Facts.
And how are you gonna protect yourself?
Hmm.
You know, um, a lot of
Now,
police.
I do think like when it comes to laws regarding guns, like for open carry, I think they need to be a little bit more strict. I think there should be more laws surrounding the weapons, but I'm not saying I don't think that we should ban them because people do have to protect their homes. Like again, police officers are hated, like literally hated. Some people really like some gang initiations to really kill police officers. So it's I think it's important that people have that right to bear arms. I just feel like people have to make sure they know the ins and outs of a weapon. Make sure they know the laws of what can possibly happen if they use your weapon. We use their weapon. I don't think people understand like I can't just go around shoot people because I don't feel safe. That's not a thing.
Yeah, right, right. Like I said, there's a time and moment for everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time and place for everything. Um.
Agreed.
So now, like moving on. Listen. I don't know if you're looking at the comments. Don't pay attention to the comments. They come at me.
I can't see the comments, so
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. 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 But I know you tough anyway, so you good. You.
I mean, what are they saying?
I haven't really seen. I was just saying, like, just in case, and I
Oh,
try to make sure that, especially if I have like a serious topic on here, I try to make sure that it's a comfortable place for my guests.
mhm.
That way they're welcome and other people will be
I mean,
being
people can ask whatever they want to ask. I mean,
right.
people again don't have the opportunity to talk to police officers. See, I grew up in an environment where I never really hated the police. I always felt protected by police, but sometimes that's not always people's case. Some people feel targeted by the police. People are often getting pulled over. People with a lot of history and have a really large, extensive rap sheet feel like they're being
Mhm,
targeted, and I can understand why. You get what
mhm.
I'm saying? So it's like I'm here to either help clarify, but however, not every police officer thinks the way I think.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
can only
But
speak on how I would feel in that situation. I can't speak on what another person would do in that situation.
now, now let me ask you this: like, what's your consensus on um like being a black? Wait, sorry, what's your ethnicity? Are you African
I'm Puerto
American?
Rican, Dominican, and Jamaican.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything.
Yo, que lo que, que lo
Okay,
que.
okay.
So I didn't even know she was Dominican.
Mhm.
I didn't know she. So you Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Jamaican.
Mhm.
So she Caribbean gal. So we have a Dominican, Puerto Rican. Okay, okay. ¿Tú hablas español?
A little bit, not too much.
Okay. Have you visited the motherland? You
I
been to the
have
motherland?
never.
No. Yo, listen. Let me tell you something, Kay. You gotta go. It's beautiful.
I've never
You go-
been. Once this
listen.
COVID shit is over, I'll make a trip. But until
Listen.
COVID's over, it's
Yeah.
slow.
Right. Right. Hey, Kay. You have to go. You have to. It's beautiful. You're gonna love it.
I've never been. I know the food is lit though.
The food is lit. The people lit. You're gonna blend right in.
But
Yeah.
I'll definitely put on my to-do list.
All right. So all right. So oh yeah. So J Dub says she looks Dominican. Yeah. You know what's
Thank you.
crazy? Yeah. Like I always like you always give me that like Caribbean vibe.
I get that a
You know,
lot.
you always give me that Caribbean vibe. So let's move on to more like the next question, right? Maybe the tougher questions.
Hmm.
um I want to show these pictures of you, right? Because you're an attractive woman,
Thank you.
right? You're with someone. Well, you're welcome. Well, many people will deem as, oh, she's a girly girl. She looks like you're the average woman. Like she's very feminine and this and that. So you look you carry that.
Hmm.
And I want to show these pictures of you really quick,
Hmm.
just so people can see. Look, yo, what's that? Yo, what's the gang side? What's that? West Side? What is that?
No.
What is that? That
I was 18, 19 in that picture. I can't believe that's still up there, head ass.
yo, 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 what is that, yo? Okay, what is that? You
Honestly,
repping the
no cap,
gang?
I don't know. It was so long ago, and I like my nails in that picture. Believe it
But
or
you,
not, I have my hat backwards and everything in that picture.
oh word, oh, you like me, like this,
Yeah.
like me?
Yeah.
Okay, gang.
I was
Okay,
definitely going through phases. I have like different, you'll see.
gang. Nah, listen, but this is what people have to remember. Politicians, police officers, we're all human beings. We all have a
Facts.
life. So we all had our youth. We all had a rebel stage. We all were teenagers. We all thought we knew everything up until we became
Hmm.
adults. So,
Facts. I agree.
I mean, we all go through that phase. And I mean that's just a cute picture. Like that ain't really much. But like, look, you look. Oh, you in the fitness. You in the fitness.
Yeah. Well, I have my phases that I'm into fitness. Like I'm still on a diet from like 6 years ago. So
Yeah.
that
Well,
varies.
and I'm gonna show this last pic.
Oh boy. Okay, that's all right.
Okay, you on your femininity right there, right?
Hmm.
But then on the flip side, you're a police officer, and
Hmm.
it's a and I know. Listen, even though I'm gonna be honest with you, my opinion is I don't think women should be police officers. You
Why?
know. All right. So before I go into that, I will go into that. But I do still respect what you do
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, you're risking your life, right? And you do have a family to come home to,
Hmm.
and you are potentially saving other people. And and there's a lot of people who they're not going to take that risk that you're taking. So I'll give you your props and respect for that.
Hmm.
And I'm not trying to degrade you or anything.
No, I don't think that at all.
Okay, all right. So well, I would say the reason why I disagree with women being police officers is many reasons. There's many reasons. But first off, this is why I'm gonna break it down to you. Okay. Since you are attractive, like in the pictures I just showed, you're clearly an attractive woman. Since you're attractive, do you believe that a lot of men may not respect you as much?
No.
Or do a lot of men hit on you?
Sometimes.
Like at like during like your coworkers and or
No, my
people in
coworkers
the
are
street?
actually 110% respectful. They never has crossed the line. It's literally just a working relationship between my coworkers and I. And I work with a great department, and like it's my working family. Like I love everyone that I work with, every single person. Like I don't have any beef. I've been a police officer for 3 years.
Okay.
Never have had any issues at my job with my coworkers at least.
Okay, so I'm now. Can I ask on your dating status?
I'm married.
You're married. Okay, boom.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're a married woman.
Hmm.
So now, how did your husband feel? About you taking this career path. I mean,
I
how
mean,
did he
I
feel
was
about
already
it?
police officer prior to him and I got getting married.
Right.
I did. when I finished college, I didn't want to go to the FBI, and he says no.
Eh,
He doesn't
eh,
want me
why not? Why not?
because FBI agents are rarely ever home. And
Mm.
I just had a small baby, and I have two older children, and I have a small baby. I was gonna go to the FBI when my kids were in college because again, I have my kids at a very young age, so I was still in the age bracket to go to the FBI.
Wait,
Um,
Slow down.
sorry, my kids
How
are.
how old are, no no? How old are you? I thought you were younger.
I'm 28.
You said your kids. Oh, you said when your kids go into college.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said your kids in college. I'm like, what?
Oh
Like,
no
oh,
no no no
yo,
no 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 no
yo, I
no.
got
When they
confused
go
really
to
quick.
college,
Oh, I got confused. I'm like, what? Like you about my age? Yeah, cause yeah, I'm a year older than you.
I'm sorry, I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to my
Oh,
kids.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
She know how to use that mute button. Look at her. She about to be a YouTuber like in a week. She about to be a
no,
YouTuber.
so my plan was when my kids, my older two, were going off to college, I was gonna go join the FBI. That was my goal. Um, I wasn't planning on getting married. I was so content on being single and just doing my thing and doing what's best for my family. And then my husband came along. And of course, I'm going to respect my husband. Like, he gave me a valid reason as to why he didn't want me to join. And that's a very dangerous job, which is why I was going to wait for my kids to go off to college. So I can at least, like, they're going to be gone. So I don't have to worry about being present while they're gone. But now that I have a family, I have to worry about being present for my husband and my younger baby, and obviously still my older two. So
You know what's
that's
funny about that?
huh?
You know what's funny about that?
What?
Because a family will usually, most of the time, slow down a woman when it comes to a career path. No, I'm telling you,
That's fair. So you're
right?
right because prior to me becoming what I am now, I wanted to be a lawyer. And I had my first child at 17, and I understood that that's not a career path that I can no longer take. So I've been going to school since I was 18, and I'm still going to school. Like, if I did not have children, I would have been done by now. But I have kids, so I'm still in school. I take breaks every now and then. I'm a cop, so that's also like, okay, being a cop, a full-time student, and a mom and a wife is very hard. It's very hard. Um,
I could imagine. I could only imagine.
Definitely hard. So,
I could
I mean,
only
it can slow
imagine.
it down, but my husband's my number one supporter. Like, and I love him for that. Like, he supports me. If I want to work overtime or whatever the case may be, he's down for the cause. Like, he's a great support. He watches the kids when I need him to watch them. He's great.
Then that's beautiful. Now that's beautiful. Oh man. But now I think I have to go into the tough questions now.
Okay.
Do you think women should be police officers? I mean, I
Yes.
know, right? I
Yes.
mean, you're a woman, but
Facts.
like,
You know
yeah,
why I think there should be women as police officers? Because we have a whole bunch of different cases, right? I think females possess a different skill set than men, meaning we're more empathetic. We can sometimes sympathize when people are in certain situations. Like, for instance, if there was a sexual assault, do you think a woman would be more comfortable talking to a woman or a male?
wow, that yo, you just brought up a great point. Yeah, a woman
So,
will
and
feel more
also in different
comfortable with a woman.
situations, if we have people that have previous traumas dealing with men, do you want a man to search you or a female to search you? Because at the end of the day, they have to get searched.
Right? They do have
Females
to do it. Yeah, they do have to get searched. You're correct.
females are also sometimes a lot more calmer. Like, I've been a police officer for 3 years. I have never had to use my taser. Knock on wood, because I'm not trying to use it.
Yeah, yeah, oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
I have never had to use my taser. I have never had to spray nobody, and I have never had to pull my weapon out on no one because I know how to talk to people. If I get an aggressive person, I do everything I can possible to de-escalate the situation before I have to go meet them there. Sometimes, if it's a let's say it's a man on man fight, if a male officer is there, they'll get the job done 110%, but that subject sees that as a challenge rather than, okay, well, this person's here trying to help me. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like women are there, some women are there to de-escalate and make the situation a lot, make it go a lot more smoother. And that's from my experience. Like I have never seen a woman get on scene and it just goes from 0 to 10. I have seen when men go on scene, it goes from 0 to 10.
But
So
you, but okay, all right. So let me put it like this, right? What's going on, Beach? Without chat, I'm about to read all y'all comments and questions soon. But I think this is a great conversation, and this is not just about me criticizing her. This will always be, this is gonna be a build. That way we can learn. Maybe she'll learn something new, or maybe we'll learn something from her. Because a lot of us have negative sentiments when it comes to police officers or law enforcement. Um. Okay, so an example, like, don't you think that they usually tend to send men? Well, what percentage of the department is women, anyways? Like very
so
small.
we have one, two, three. I think we have 4 to 5 active patrols that are female. So they try to put one at least on every shift. Then we have females that are behind the scenes. They work the desk or they're in higher positions where they
Right,
don't are
right.
not on the road. But on the road, I think we have 4 or 5.
Okay. So now, in a moment of now, because now we speak like in a moment of action, in a moment of threat, who do you believe may exude more anxiety and panic?
I mean, I can't say men or female because everyone processes things differently.
Mhm.
A lot of people that I've been working with have been doing this for a very long time. So I can't say, well, the females are do this better because we're trained the same thing. We go through classes to make sure the end result is the same. However, how we rationalize it and how we internalize it and how we perceive it is different from person to person. How I may act in a certain situation is not how someone else will act in a certain situation. How I like handle it step by step may vary different from what another person may do. Like if I'm in a situation, my voice might get shaky, whereas someone else's voice might not get shaky. You get what I'm saying? Like it depends on person to person.
Okay. All right. So it may vary person to person. Now, let me ask you this. Um, let's say a situation gets physical. Who you who do you believe is better equipped to handle the situation?
Again, that comes into your training.
Oh, so you wouldn't say naturally males,
They're stronger, but
but
we're
they're stronger,
smaller.
and biologically, I would say not just physical strength as far as you can push weight, right? Not
Hmm.
just that. Do you think that men innately have the ability to have quicker reflexes?
No, because
Really?
I have seen situations where men have actually not in my department, but men subjects have tried to subdue a woman, and the women come out on top
But
because it comes to your training. It doesn't matter if someone's 6'5", 250 pounds. Like if I am on top of my training and it all comes to making sure you train. If I am making sure I'm training, I'm going to know what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? Like I am supposed to know how to be able to subdue and use that person's body weight against them. You know what I'm saying? So it's all on how you train.
all right, so okay, all right. So would you say either side has an advantage?
Yeah.
Right. Because I would say when it comes to like an example, when it comes to like working at a daycare, right?
I did that too.
It sounds like you do, 'cause you got babies, right? Your
Hmm.
mother, your mother. So it's more. I think it's more advantageous for a woman to do it. It's more fit because naturally, women are more nurturing, loving, understanding, caring. Especially with young kids, young adults.
Right.
Uh, uh,
So what
so so.
happens when
Uh-huh.
police officers get those cases when there's child abuse, child neglect? Who's supposed to sit there and be that nurturing person? Since women are most likely, we're more caring. So
Right.
that's why it's important to
Right. Okay.
have a.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so then, do you agree with the concept that the police force? Do you think it should be like 50-50, like half of the police force should be women, or
I
does it
mean, it'd be
matter?
beneficial. I bet you
Really?
if that was a thing, if it was
Yeah.
50-50, it would be more balanced. I feel. I
Really?
feel that. Yeah, because I feel like women were just naturally calmer. We
Oh,
can.
are you sure about that?
Yeah. Okay, I can only speak for my department. I don't know what other
Okay.
outside agencies got going on. Like, I can only speak for my
Yeah,
department.
okay. Now we having a convo. We having a convo. This is friendly. Everyone you see in the chat, half of them are trolls, but the other half they like family, right?
Mhm.
And I'm family here, so we just having a conversation. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. Any situation when it involves a woman, you know, they're naturally not. They don't have the ability to react the proper way
And mean by what?
because it's an anomaly. It's a rarity for a woman to step in a hectic, high pressure situation and react, accordingly. Because
Honestly, so
because
I react.
biologically in
It
men.
depends. Again, it depends on your training, and this is why I go to school for psychology because it
Okay.
helps me process the things differently, so I can react better under stress. And like, okay, for instance, we go to training, right? We have a shoot house where we're getting shot at. I shoot better when I'm getting shot at.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like I work better
Under
under
pressure.
pressure. Like when I went to the police academy, I went through with my partner. I have never shot or held a weapon prior to me becoming a police officer. So I was really nervous when I went to the police academy because we had to go to shoot house and getting shot by rubber bullets. That shit don't feel good. It don't feel good at all. So I was telling him like, hey, I've never shot a weapon before. He was like, well, I go first because you don't know what you're doing. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He went first and I was able to subdue the individuals and he didn't let out any rounds. And he got in trouble because he was like, well, why didn't you shoot? He was in the My partner was like, well, because she shot them all. And he was like, well, that's not the point. So even though I've never shot before, someone, they're shooting at me. I understand that they got the weapon and it's an active shooting situation. I was able to, I was nervous as hell because again, it's my first time ever doing it, but I was good.
Okay. Okay. So do you think the difference in everything has everything to do with everything has to do with the training?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So you think everything has to do is more about the training, not really the gender of the officer?
Yes, I definitely, and I believe it's how the individual processes the training.
Oh, okay. So
Meaning,
what
if they
about
take it serious, then cool. You get what I'm saying? Like if they're like, okay, I need to learn this, I need to learn this, and then not only taking the training in, going beyond the training, like making sure like when you have free time, you're practicing what you're learning because it's either use or lose. So if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. So you have to make sure that you're using it constantly to make sure that you're up to date on your trainings. The law is always changing, making sure you're up to date on what's going on.
Oh, okay. All right, so you just brought that up. What do you believe about the Fifth Amendment?
I believe all amendments are there for a reason. I would never want to take out any of the amendments. I believe that they're there for reasons, to protect the people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. And they protect you too when you're not on duty.
facts,
Yeah.
facts. So I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm against the fourth, the fifth amendment. I'm not. I'm not against it at all. I think that it's necessary. 110%.
Okay. All right. Okay, I respect that answer. That was a great answer, man. You should be a politician, man.
No,
But not, not,
no, no, no,
you wouldn't be a politician.
no.
Why not? What? Oh,
I'm not
you
into
would.
politics. I think that I think that's also flawed. I feel like everybody says what the people want to hear, and then once they get in the office, it's like fuck what you want to hear. I'm gonna do what I want.
Right.
So I'm just not. I'm
Broken
not into
promises.
politics. Police officer and lawyer. That's as far as I go.
Okay. So you mentioned the fact that what makes the difference when it comes to your duty is the training and how you accept it and how you take it in and how you process it, right?
Hmm.
So with that being said, wouldn't you say most people that commit crime is men, correct?
In my situation or in my department
Oh,
or
okay. So you're speaking on your situation. No,
no,
we're
no, no,
speaking
no. I'm just
overall.
asking like, are you asking that question in like general, or you're asking like
Yeah,
of what I
yeah.
experienced?
You can do. Wow, you're good. You're good. All right, you definitely you're applying your criminal justice studies here right now. So your lawyer kicking in. Okay, all right, your lawyer kicking in because the way you responded to that. But yes, now share your personal experience. Do you believe that men commit crime at a more rapid pace?
It depends on the type of crime that's being committed.
Okay, overall, all crimes, anything that's deemed a crime,
I'm
that's
gonna say it's 75, 25. 75% men, 25% women. However,
ooh, okay.
if a woman is committing a crime, like a more like a felony crime, it's more emotionally driven than it is reactionary. I feel like men is more reactionary, like you do it to me or whatever the case may be, I'm just gonna react. I feel like women, their emotions kind of get the best of them, and they're just reacting off their emotions rather than just oh you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
Versus oh, okay, versus what's right
Right.
type thing, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so then you would say that naturally a man is going to respond to something the best way he can, right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you would say that naturally a man will respond to a situation the best way he can. He's not just going to say, oh, this guy thinks he could just not listen to me and I'm a police officer with a badge and gun, you know, maybe you don't think since you just said that women are naturally more emotional and men are more reactive, they take in everything, they process everything quicker than a woman would,
Mm,
because biologically that's how we were made.
we're
Because
thinkers. We'll think about it before females, at
yeah,
least.
so but well, wait, wouldn't you say that a man would assess the situation more properly when it's more instinctual, as far as like combat, or when there's like a sense of danger? Wouldn't you say that men are more they're more able to do it? They have the capabilities to be more efficient.
As a subject or a police officer, because again, we are trained to be able to process the situation. So like we can dispatch to a call. And I'm not going to react. I'm not going to have the same thought process as I am. Like, let's say I'm going to a neglect case. I'm not going to have the same reaction to, like, the same thought process to that if I'm going to a domestic with weapons. My thought process is going to be completely different. My adrenaline is going to be completely different. In my head, I'm already thinking questions I already have to ask. Or if I'm going to a domestic with weapons that are involved, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I have to obviously there's weapons involved. Do they have the weapons on them? Like I have to ask these type of questions. Now, if I'm going to a neglect case, I'm thinking, like, okay, where's this child? What's going on with this child? Where's the child's parents? Like it's different processes. So and I'm pretty sure my coworkers had that same thought process.
So let me ask you this. So you even said that 75% of crimes are committed by men, and you would say that, and I bet you can agree that those crimes, the more heinous or more hazardous are by men, wouldn't you say? The more scary, more threatening. Because if a let's say if a woman is gonna, let's say you're trying to stop a woman, hey stop, and she's like rushing towards you. It's different versus when a man is rushing towards you.
Not if they're rushing towards me with a knife or a gun. It's gonna feel the same whether it's a woman or a man.
Yeah, all right. Let's say they have
Because
no
the
weapon.
end game, the end result is gonna
Yeah,
be
the
the
end result.
same.
You're right. You still have to get a job to do.
They're gonna want to. So if someone's charging at me, whether it's a woman or a man, they still want to hurt me, whether it's a woman or a man. You get what I'm saying? So it's not gonna matter. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, female, please stop, or I'm gonna treat it the same way because they're doing the same thing.
Okay.
The only
Yeah.
time that I am different with a man or a female is the nature of the call. That's the only time I take sex into consideration. Other than that, I treat everybody the same. I don't see sex. I don't see gender. Gender is sex. I don't see gender. I don't see race. I
Well,
don't see any of that. I
I,
see people.
but now you want to know what the huge difference is? The When it comes to relative, like when it comes to like the physicality, that's a reality.
Facts.
Men are quicker, stronger, instinctively. When it comes to those reactive, fight or flight, the man is a way huger threat. And like you're an anomaly when it comes to being working this type of dangerous job. Like an example in the military, it's gonna be mostly men, right? And I believe that if like a country has an army that's mostly men or 99% men, and versus an army that has 50% women, who you think is gonna be more prosperous?
You know, it's funny you said that because when I went to police academy, I went to police academy with men and females, obviously. And the females, they were better shot. We got better grades. We processed the stuff better. So it depends. It depends on the female. You get what I'm saying? It depends on
Mhm.
how serious they take their job. Because we're not here because we have to be. We're here because
Oh
we
no.
want to be.
Okay, but what about this? In the requirements, like physical requirements,
Same requirement as men.
I- are you sure?
In my department, we have to do the same thing.
It,
Now,
it,
in
it-
the military, is different. In the army, the male PT test and the female PT test is different, but not by much.
so
So
are you telling me that women, it's better for women to be more um like when it comes to the psychology part or nurturing, they shouldn't be in combat. Like they shouldn't be down with the squad team, the kick down the door.
if I if if I had the opportunity to be in a gang unit, I would.
Oh man. Oh, all right. So let me tell you this: if you was a firefighter, you have to carry heavy bodies. Like if you
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It comes to your training and making sure. Like if I want to be a firefighter, I would make sure that I will be able to do so. I will be able to make sure that I will, because where I work, we have firefighters. The firefighters, we don't have any females. We don't. But if we did, they would have to do the same thing that the men would do.
so,
And if you don't pass that PT test, then you cannot be a firefighter. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't do what you have to do, if you cannot take on the physical part of it, then you cannot do it. It's part of the job requirement.
now let me ask you this. I'm gonna drift off a little bit. Why do you believe that in sports it's by weight and gender?
Because it's flawed. 110% flawed. I feel like if okay, let me say this. Okay, so prior to me becoming a police officer, I was going to join the military, right? And do they tape you based off your waist, your neck, or whatever the case may be. They haven't changed that in so long, and now women have got bigger butts, they got bigger boobs. You get what I'm saying? So now it's completely different. I'm not trying to throw race in it, but sometimes black women and white women, they're shaped different. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like
Yo, these pogs, these white girls getting thicker though.
facts. Facts. I've been seeing it. Facts. My one of my friends, my closest friend, she thick. She definitely thick.
Okay. But
um,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
so I feel like they need to revisit it, make it more current. Um, and I feel like they need to make it the same for men and females. I don't think there should be a man PT test or a female PT test. I think it should be one PT test. If you pass, you pass. If you fail, you fail.
And don't you think that would result into a lot of women not being able to get in or fail? Wouldn't you
No,
think that?
because if they really want it enough, they'll train hard enough to get it.
But okay, so this is what I'm saying though. Like, let's say if males started competing in female athletics, don't you think the ones that couldn't compete in the male league, they said, okay, damn, I can't dominate here. I'm gonna go to the female league, and you don't think they'll dominate there?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't
Right,
think there should
see,
be.
you see, right,
But
and
I
I'm
don't
saying
think there should be. That's
in
what I'm
this
saying. I don't think
world, we have double standards
we
for a
do.
reason, and the double standards for a reason because in an example, you want to know what the difference is. We're dimorphic. You understand what dimorphic is?
Never heard that term.
All right, dimorphic is we're like the same like species, but we take different forms.
Okay.
So, an example, it doesn't matter. Or let's say you're naturally better at. I don't know what are women naturally better at. Like, give me something that women are you would say naturally better at. Just
I
say
don't know. Cleaning. I don't know.
okay. Let's say women are naturally better at cleaning, right? Women are naturally better at cleaning. And I want to be able to clean, right? And maybe I'll be able to clean as good as you or as better as you, but naturally there's always going to be a difference no matter what. No matter how much I want, let's say if I'm like one of these LGBT dudes, I want to be like Kay. I want to be a woman, right? I want to be like Kay. The difference between you and I biologically is that you can have a womb, you can have a baby. I can never do that.
Right.
So nature is also going to include certain attributes to that.
Hmm.
So that's why I think that's what we separate.
Right, but I don't think that women should be in occupations that keep us separated. I'm not like a I'm not like a
Right.
feminist or anything, but I believe
Right.
in equal rights. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
if someone wants to be a police officer and they do everything they got to do to be a police officer, whether they're women or male, why not?
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If you're a woman, right, and the protocol, the testing, the evaluation is everything is equal, then I'm a 100% with that. But I do believe that there are laws put into place. They say no, there has to be a certain amount of women working here because then that would be deemed as discrimination if there's
Right.
not a certain amount of women.
So I
I
don't
think
think
that
that
that's an advantage you guys have.
Well, I don't think that number should be there. I don't think it should be like, well, you need to have three women or else you're deemed as a discriminatory organization. I don't think that should be a thing. However, I do think those laws are placed for people who like, for instance, women shouldn't be police officers. So why not look at my resume the same way? That's why I like resumes because you don't know if the person, like some names, you don't know if they're a man or female. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
if I qualify for it, why not let me do it? Because solely on the basis that I'm a female. That's not fair.
No, you're correct. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're correct. You're correct. You're correct. It should be a fair, even Steven.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to. All right. First, let me show you this picture first, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
like start answer questions.
Okay.
Do you know who this is?
I have no idea who that is.
Her name is Clarissa Shields.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware, but I'm a boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it for a long time. And we spar with women sometimes, and this and that. Now, Clarissa Shields is something that you would call a rarity, a special case, an anomaly, a unicorn.
Hmm.
This woman, she's a two-time Olympian. In the amateurs, before she turned professional, I think she only has like 2 losses, and she has like 200 wins.
Hmm.
Like this girl is a freak of nature. You know,
Hmm.
she's a phenomenon, and she could probably beat up many men
Hmm.
that like that. Maybe like because most people don't know how to fight or protect themselves.
Right.
Versus someone who is
Trained to do it.
trained to do it. So she
Hmm.
could probably beat up some, a heavy amount of guys, right?
Hmm.
But this woman is a rarity, and that's what I'm just trying to say. That
It's
it's
a
a
rarity,
rarity.
but it's not unreachable. You get what I'm saying? So if
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
woman wants to do that, all they have to do is train. Definitely a mental thing, and they have to prepare for it. But it's not unattainable. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, she's a rarity, but that's because she trained to do that. She wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? She was probably skinny growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and she probably didn't know how to fight growing up. What got her there is her training.
All right, so it's interesting with Sundown. Sundown, he's military.
Hmm.
He's in the military. So I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link because I think this is a great convo. We're having a great conversation. I'm gonna drop the link. And if anyone wants to ask a question, like I said, she's my first time guest, so be respectful. Tonight the trolls are being respectful. Oh man, I think the people in here like police officers. That's what's up. So yeah. So now let me ask you this too. Also, while we're waiting for anyone to hop in and ask you a question, do you do you believe you're ready? Like, are you prepared for violence? Are you ready? Like, you think you're ready to kill? Do you have the and not just saying like, oh, physically I could do it, like, because anybody
I
could just
never
because
wanted to
anyone
do it.
okay, okay, let me ask you this. Not that anyone just like uh anyone has the anyone could just pull a trigger, right? Because this
Facts.
right, the force is nothing. Like a baby could pull a trigger. But what I'm saying is mentally, are you think you're prepared for that?
Here's the thing. I hopefully knock on would never have to be in a situation because I don't ever want to do that.
Okay.
However, I will give, so let's say
I see you, Jose. I'm gonna let you in a little minute. All right, go ahead.
someone pulls a weapon on me, I'm going to tell them to put it down. If they have the means and the intent to pull that trigger, if I have to pull that trigger before they pull that trigger, I have to. I have kids to come home to. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, I can't just keep giving you, I'm going to give you the opportunity to put the weapon down, but if you do not do that, that's what we're saying. Put the weapon down. Put the weapon down. I'll give you. Depending on the situation, I may even give you two. Like, if I feel like I can talk you off the ledge, I'm gonna try to do that, but I'm not gonna keep doing it too much.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So again, hopefully, I'm never in that situation. Mentally, I don't ever want to kill anyone. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
I'm glad to hear that from you. That's a fresh.
I
That's a,
don't I don't. Go ahead.
that's a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I definitely, if I ever, God forbid, again, knock on wood, if I ever have to take someone's life, I'm human. It's going to fuck me up. Like, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, I just killed this person today. Let's go eat brownies. Like, no, I just took another person's life. That anybody that has a heart is going to fuck them
It's
up.
gonna stress you out. It's gonna
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
stress me
stress
out.
you out. Yeah.
Um, but I'm gonna understand that I had to. And if I didn't, they were gonna. I wouldn't come home to my kids.
Okay. Now, okay, yeah, okay. Good answer. Good answer. Now, before I let Jose in, and I'm gonna let him interact with you and ask you questions. Let me say, what do you expect? And maybe expect wouldn't be the best word, but what do you hope for or expect? Let's say when you go to a routine call, maybe it's a traffic stop, maybe it's a domestic call, maybe some kids fighting in the street. Like, what do you hope for the civilian or the suspect in the case? Like, what do you hope for to people like to react to certain situations
Like, for them or me.
for them? Like,
Um,
what do you want to happen? Like when you arrive to the situation, to the crime scene, to the call.
I just want it to be. not easy for each. I want everyone to feel comfortable, whether you're a, whether you're a suspect or whether hold on, whether you're a suspect, the victim. I want everyone to feel comfortable. Suspects are people too. You get what I'm saying, and they're reacting for a reason. You get what I'm saying? So I want them to feel comfortable and I want them to understand, like, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Whether that be remove you from situation and put you in jail, if that's the only way that I can help you, just understand I'm doing it to help you, not to hurt you. You get what I'm saying? So that's my theory.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Okay. Jose, what's going on, Jose?
Good evening, everybody. First of all, Fighter, thank you very much for allowing me to be on your stream.
No doubt.
Uh,
No doubt. No doubt.
Now, I would like to ask your guest, start with these two questions. Number one, what's been your biggest challenge to be a police officer? And what's there as far as mental health for officers in the force because they do undergo a great deal of stress.
That's
All
fair.
right, before you go off, I'm gonna step down. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let y'all have like a little one on one. I'll be right
Mhm.
back. All right.
Okay. So me personally, I go to therapy. Not because I'm crazy or anything, but I feel like police officers or just people in general have to be able to talk to people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of
Okay. Something's going on with the audio.
Wait, wait. No, maybe did you? Can she hear?
I don't know, but all of a sudden her early audio just went.
No. Kay, can you hear me? Kay. Oh, she's on the iPad. I mean, I think she's on the iPad. So she's probably trying to. Maybe she got a call or something. I don't know.
It's possible.
Oh, she probably gonna come back up.
Okay. Well, how are you doing tonight, Fighter?
Oh yeah, no, no. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Okay,
I,
fine.
I, I think this was a great. I think this was a great topic. This is positive. And now, at first I was kind of like digging into like whether women should even be police officers, and I didn't want it just to be about that, you know. I also
Mhm.
wanted it to be about, okay, how can, as civilians versus police officers, how can we interact with each other, have a good relationship or dynamic that way, because I guarantee you there's been many times where the police officer is not a bad person. The person at hand that's maybe got pulled over or has a warrant or whatever, maybe they're not a bad person, but maybe there was miscommunication. Someone was being too emotional. They,
okay.
they, they weren't being, emotionally intelligent, and
Mhm.
things got ugly. So I guarantee you, there's a lot of situations like that where neither of them wanted problems or issues, but one of them was maybe having a bad day. So,
Anything's possible.
so all right, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna step down again.
I'm sorry.
And
I don't know what happened.
it's cool. It's cool. Your computers ain't perfect. We better than computers. We made them. You heard?
Facts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let y'all go in for like a good 3 minutes. Just have a conversation, and then I'm gonna come back up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat the two questions again?
Yes, please. 'Cause I don't know what happened with my thing.
Okay. My first question is, what's been your biggest challenge as a police officer? And what's there as far as mental health for the people in uniform? Because our police officers undergo a great deal of stress.
hmm Okay, so the biggest challenge I have had as a police officer is a negative connotation associated with being a police officer.
Mhm.
Um, People automatically, when you are wearing a badge, they think you're there to hurt them based off other previous police officers' actions. Um, so that has been my biggest challenge is trying to make the person understand, like, I'm not here to hurt you, I'm here to help you, type of thing. Um, and even children. People have literally taught their children to hate the police officers. So I had, for instance, I pulled this mother over, and the kids automatically started crying. I don't know what the history with that was, if the mother got arrested prior in front of the children. So I try to make sure that, like, in that situation, I give the kids stickers. Like, I was like, okay, hey, like, what's going on? I try to be that face. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person. Um, as for the mental health, there's definitely resources available for police officers. There's definitely mental health therapy if you need it. Like I said, I go on my own. Even though, like, even if I'm having a great week, I still go, because I think it's really important to be able to let everything out. Sometimes we do get those hard cases where it takes a toll on me. Children is my sensitive spot. Anything dealing with children, I have a hard time processing it. So I go to therapy. I let that out, let my feelings out about it, and kind of rejuvenate my mindset. So when I go into a new work week, I'm okay. Now, everybody doesn't do that, because people think that when you go to therapy, you're crazy. I don't think that's a thing. I think that therapy is definitely necessary. I feel like even the most normalist people should go to therapy, whatever normal is.
Okay. Well, actually, you know, therapy, to go into therapy, it acknowledges that you have a problem and that you're taking actions to deal with the problem. I mean, police officers are civil servants, okay? It's just that the difference is they're civil servants with a gun and a badge, okay? I happen to be a municipal employee myself. So
Hmm.
I've been working for the city of New York for 22 years.
Hmm.
And the fact of the matter is, I think it will help if we work with if both the civilian and the police officers would, will have the communication and have mutual respect. That will help the situation.
Agree. I agree.
So, are you a police officer with NYPD or?
No, no, I work for I'm not gonna say the department I work for, obviously,
No, okay,
but
okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean okay.
no, you're good. But I'm in the Midwest area.
Oh, okay. But nevertheless, we're both civil servants. It's just
Yes. So thank you for what you do, sir.
it's a we're all here to serve the people. It's just that
Yeah.
it's just that we I don't undergo the stress that police officers go through. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to make split second decisions, and you have to make sure whether that person's going to approach you is someone that's peaceful, for like myself, or someone that's going to do you harm.
And sometimes peaceful people also want to do you harm. Their approach is different. So you really have to gauge that individual. Me personally, I never get too close to an individual, because someone may be talking calm and the next minute they snap. So I make sure, like, for instance, if I'm going on a, now if it's not, it depends on the nature of the call. If I'm going to a call where it's physical, I'm not going to get too close to that person, because I have to maintain that reactionary gap.
Mhm.
Now, if it's a call that I have to be a little bit more nurturing, i.e., sexual assault, i.e., a child abuse, i.e., any type of domestic incident where I'm dealing with the victim, I'm going to kind of not let the guard down, but allow myself to be a little bit more empathetic.
Mhm.
So,
I see. Um, if anyone is aspiring to be a police officer, what would be some of the things they need to think about?
again, making sure they know what they're getting into. I would completely want them to understand that people are going to hate you because of what you do. It's not like the firefighters. Firefighters get praised because they're saving people. They're never the bad guys. They never have to put nobody away. Um, I feel like if it's something you want to do, 110% go for it, but make sure it's something that you want to do. Make sure that they understand that not everyone's going to like you all the time.
True.
Um, People are going to call you out your names. You have to make sure you have very thick skin, and don't lead with your emotions. I'm not going to say be emotionless,
Mhm.
but don't be sensitive. Because again, people are going, if they know that you're a sensitive police officer, they're going to play on that. um they're definitely going to try to get you to step out of character and get you to, you know, step out of character, like I said. So I definitely would say make sure it's something that you want to do and understand that that there's going to be a lot of hate behind it.
I agree.
Yeah, my bad, Joe. I was just lunching or munching on that Jamaican food that made me early to the stream today. Yo, I was starving, man.
It was popping, wasn't
That jerk chicken with the red hot pepper sauce. Oh man. But but now a question I want to ask you is which might not even make sense asking it, is it might be pointless because we always want more money for our job, but would you say that police officers are paid accurately?
it? No,
No.
no, not at all. So where I work, I started off at a pretty decent rate. Um, I know other places, like one of my coworkers, they moved and they're starting off at $13 an hour. You mean to tell
Yikes.
me that these people are getting paid $13 an hour to get shot at? I don't think that's fair. Again, it depends on where you're working and what their starting pay is, but I don't think it's right.
13.
Some places, yeah, I would never. And I'm not, again, I don't do it for the money. However, I'm not gonna. People at McDonald's get paid more than $13 an hour, so I will not be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get risk my life for $13 an hour. That can't support my family.
Like
That's,
and the risk is not even worth it.
It's not at all.
I mean, that's crazy because the starting salary of an NYP cop is 42.5 a year. Now
That's not
after
e-
now
that's not
after
even a lot either.
I mean, after 5 years, it's over 85,000. But even still, that's not a lot of money.
It's not. I feel like we are definitely underpaid. Um, Again, I'm not. I don't do it for the money. But at the same breath, I'm not gonna not do it for the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. $13 an hour isn't enough for. If I can make more than that doing something else, I would. Even though I love my job, it's not worth $13 an hour. It's very, very, very dangerous job. Very high stress job. Like I said, I'm a mom. I'm a student, and I will not be willing to take on that risk of being a police officer. And can you or can you not arrest someone who is smoking weed? Is it a crime or not? Um, I'll answer that question.
Yeah. Finish your thought and then
I
answer that.
forgot what I said because I was damn reading the damn
No, no,
question.
you were saying you were speaking about the price, what
Right.
whether it's
Okay. Yeah.
worth it or
So
not. Yeah.
again, like I said, I love what I do. It's very, very rewarding. But again, I won't be risking my life for $13 an hour. I
Yeah.
mean, $13 from $16 isn't much of a difference. However, $13, like I said, people make more than that at McDonald's.
Mm, right. And then you have to remember too, you are in the Midwest, so up north we get paid more because
Yeah, so I for where
the cost
I
of
work,
living.
I get paid a decent amount. Like if I was to go
Right.
to New York and do what I do, I'm pretty sure I get paid more.
Right. But like, yeah, I mean but you could definitely say that being a police officer, like it might not be the greatest life, like the monetarily wise or money wise, the greatest life in the world, but you can take care of yourself. Like you can survive off of
Yeah,
it.
and I love my job. Like I really do love my job. Like I literally have dibbled and dabbled in everything. I've been a teacher. I've been a nurse's aide. I've done everything. And being a police officer is the longest job I have because it's not like I'm doing something new every day. And even though I'm a police officer, every case is different. Everybody is different. So it's like I'm doing something new every single day.
Okay, you're dealing with new characters, different characters, man. Like,
I
even
mean, we do
even
have those repeat offenders, but
but no, yeah, I bet you know I'm on a first name basis. Like, yeah,
yeah, like when I
like
hear the
damn,
address, I'm like, oh,
Ricky,
okay, what's up?
Ricky,
What's
I
up? What's
just
up?
arrested you last week. Ricky, you here again, boy?
Yeah,
Like,
we have those repeat offenders, but after a while, you build, I believe it or not, like once you get those repeat, you build a rapport with them. So it's like, okay, we're here again, but you're able to joke with them a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. You know what the craziest thing was? I've been arrested a few times, but one time I was arrested, it was weird as hell because I recognized him and he recognized me. And as a child, his mother used to babysit me.
Oh wow.
So it was so awkward. And I conversate and then the reason I got arrested, right? I was leaving I was leaving school, right? I was at my trade school. I was leaving school and I got like in a little fender bender with someone, right? And I had a warrant. I didn't know, but I had a warrant. And it's routine, a little car accident, the cop might give you a ticket depending.
Hmm.
So I already know, don't be combative. Just chill out, and he might chill out with you too. Everything might go
So
laxed.
my
So
theory is,
mhm.
this is just my theory, my personal theory. I can't speak on everyone else. I don't care what you did. If you give me respect, I'm gonna give you respect. You get what I'm saying? So as long as you're not trying to kill me or hurt any other one else or kill anyone else, if God forbid, knocking wood again, different situation, God forbid someone kills someone, but they don't have any weapons on them, the threat is already eliminated. If they show respect, I will also show them respect because at the end of the day, they're people. Now, if you go in there being disrespectful, that situation is going to escalate so much rather than you just sit there trying to talk to them. You can talk to someone and get your point across. You get more out of honey than you do out of vinegar. So that's just my theory.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I'm about to let Valentina go really quick, but first I want to kind of like finish my story. Uh, so it was kind of awkward because I knew him and I think he remembered me still. Like I still looked the same as when I was young, and I remembered him. He, pulled me over. Ooh, I didn't know I had a warrant, and yeah, it was a little fender bender, but I believe like he was acting really aggressive for no reason. I'm like, yo, why is this guy being so tough? Like, oh, you gotta get out the car. And well, I was already out the car, so I had a car accident. But he was like talking to me aggressively and this and that. Like, you have any weapons? And then I'm like, nah, nah. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, it was just a car accident. Like, that's not a crime. You know, if you get in a car accident, that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
he says, all right, man, put your hands behind your back. I'm like, what? I'm like, for what? And he's like, put your hands behind your back. I'm like, no, for what? And mind you, at this point, I already have this mentality like I'm a boxer, I'm in shape, I fight people all day,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mind you, I'm taller than him,
Mm-hmm.
stronger than him. I'm already a cocky motherfucker. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, this dude he talking to me crazy. Like, for what? Like, and I'm already thinking in my mind, I ain't doing nothing wrong. Like, since when was it illegal to get in a car accident? That's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looked at me and he said, listen, do you want to do this the easy way
Or
or
the
the
hard
hard
way.
way?
Mm-hmm.
And me being smart, that wasn't my first rodeo with the police. I said, man, I want to do this the easy way, And that doesn't make you a bitch. It doesn't make you soft. It makes you a smart person. So I said, all right, whatever. Bye. He took
Mm-hmm.
me in. And I said, yo, are you going to tell me what you arrested me for, though? He's like, I'm going to talk to you in a minute. And then he told me I had a warrant.
So there's different approaches. So people won't tell you what we don't really have. Like, so if we like, for instance, if I pull someone over, I don't have to like if I pull them over for speed, I don't have to show them my speedometer. Like that's a courtesy. Like I don't have to. Um, but when in situations like that, when you have a warrant, there's one or two things can happen. If you tell that person they have a warrant prior to you putting them in handcuffs, they can take off, and then they bang, you're in a chase, and then boom, bang, that person's getting hit with more charges. Um, or you can tell them and then it can go the right way because most time people want to just sit there and be like, okay, well, I just want to know I'm going to put my handcuff getting put in handcuffs for. But sometimes people will just want to know to figure out what it. And then if you tell them, depending on what they're getting, what their warrant is for, they might be combative or the warrant might be like for instance, if I run a driver's license, they'll be like, okay, this person has a previous violent history of police officers. You know what I'm saying? So we approach those things differently than a regular warrant. So they all vary. They definitely vary.
Yeah, nah, nah. That Yeah, yeah, definitely. But now this is the thing: are police officers, because this had a lot to do with maybe Miranda rights slash due process.
Mhm.
Can the police officer tell someone? Are they required? Are they supposed to tell someone? Okay, you're under arrest for this.
You don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, I
Okay.
don't. So it depends. So I don't typically, in my situations, I don't tell them what they're arrested for until I Mirandize them, because that opens up for discussion. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, if you don't Mirandize them, and you guys start talking, and anything, so if anything they say will still be used against them, but if you start asking probing questions and you didn't Mirandize them, then it will all get dismissed. You get what I'm saying? So
Right. Okay.
I personally, I don't ask anything. I'll just put them and then be like, "What am I being arrested for?" I'll talk to you after I read you your rights. Bang, end of story.
Okay. All right. Now before we go to Valentina, we're gonna go to one of the people in the chat who's asked, how much longer can you stay here? Because I know.
I mean, I told I already probably the next 30 minutes maybe.
Okay. All right. All right. Just to know. Okay. Now, someone in the audience says, "Say good night to the bad guy too." Scarface, right? He says, "Can you or can you not arrest someone who is smoking weed? Is it a crime or not?"
Is
Eh,
smoking
eh,
weed a crime? Is that what he's asking?
Basically, so this is my thing. I'm gonna kind of like answer it for her, even though she's gonna go more into death. I think the circumstance matters.
Facts.
Where you're doing it, what are you doing while you do that?
Hmm.
The state oh, everything matters. So all right, go ahead, Kay.
It also varies by state. Some states have recreational use. Other states you have to have a med card. So it all depends, again, what you're doing when you're doing it, where you are when you're doing it. Absolutely no school zones, no matter if it's legal or not. You cannot smoke in a school zone. That's not a thing. Um, and yeah, that's it. It depends. I mean, I'm not gonna like me personally, if I'm out in town, I'm not gonna just arrest somebody because they're on the front porch smoking weed. It's legal here. So why the hell would I do that if it's legal? Like they're doing what the hell they want to do. It's legal. They're not, and if they're not being loud, if not being aggressive, if they're not driving, then it's cool. Driving and smoking is considered a DWI. Like you're still under the
Right.
influence of
Yeah.
something. You cannot smoke and drive. That's not a thing.
Right.
People do it. Um, but again, it all depends on the situation.
Okay. So all right, thank you for that answer. So we're gonna probably be him another half hour with her, and then she has to leave, but she still has a little time to spare. Now Valentina is in the building. How you doing, Valentina? Valentina, what questions do you have for her?
I'm doing good. Hi, Fighter. Hi, Miss K. Thank you so much for your service. I love police officers. I think you guys do a great job. You put your lives on the line, and you get a little appreciation from the public. I just want to thank you for your service. I have about two or three questions. The first question is, in the midst of the Black Lives Matter and the anti-police sentiment, how do you feel as a police officer when you guys are attacked for Black Lives Matter? How do you handle that as a Black person?
Um, I'm a strong supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, but what I do not support is the violence that has been associated with the Black Lives Matter movement. I believe you can get your point across the same way, in a peaceful way. We're
Hmm.
fighting as a Black community. We're fighting police brutality, which is the thing. Um, I do believe that we cannot fight that in an aggressive manner, because the only thing that's going to come of aggressiveness is more aggressiveness. We're not going to
Right.
get the point across. They're not going to hear us. um I feel that burning things and fighting people, I have seen protests where they're burning everything up and doing all that stuff. I mean, only thing that's going to come from that is more police action, meaning more police people are going to get arrested, and if they're coming in aggressive, the police officers are going to come in aggressive too. It's like a rippling effect. So again,
Right.
I support the Black Lives Matter movement. I just don't support how some people are protesting it.
Okay. So
Okay.
then how do you feel about the counter Black Lives Matter protest that says Blue Lives Matter? Do you also support Blue Lives Matter? Do you think that's a nice counter protest, or you think
Valentina, great
how do you feel
question,
about blue?
Valentina. I was gonna ask that, but go
Thank you.
ahead.
Can you repeat it? Because she's really low.
All right. So so
I was
she
asking you. Go ahead.
no no. What she was at, I was gonna ask this to you, but it kind of slipped my mind because we were having a great natural conversation. Um, what she asked you was, how do you feel about Blue Lives Matter? Since you said you're okay with Black Lives Matter, how do you feel about
I
Blue Lives Matter?
here I feel so. I wear both. I have a Black Lives Matter bracelet and a thin blue line. Because I'm part of
Mm,
both communities.
okay,
I feel
interesting.
like one shouldn't
Mm,
outweigh the other. People don't understand the people think that blue lives matter is more so to shame the Black Lives Matter. That's not what it is. People don't understand that people are losing their lives simply because they're cops. You get what I'm saying? So when I think of blue lives matters, I think of those innocent cops that are just losing their life because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Um, as same thing as the Black Lives Matter. I feel like, and it sucks because it doesn't suck, but I'm on both sides. So it's like I
right.
understand both cases, and I don't understand both cases. Meaning, where the cops are killing innocent black men, I would never get behind that. Never get behind that. Um, and again, I will never get behind people killing innocent police officers that are just sitting in their cars minding their business. They're off duty, get followed home, get shot. I would never get behind that either because at the end of the day, we are people. I would never get behind the thin life blue matter, the thin line or blue lives matter and the Black Lives Matter trying to like make it a competition because I don't believe it should be a competition. I believe that they're both great um, movements. I just
Right.
wish people understood the the depth of each movement.
Not me play with your brother. Thank you so much for answering that question. I have one more question, or maybe two more. The next question is, I'm a mother of two black boys. And
Mhm.
every time I tell my kids, I know they're young right now, but I feel like I don't know how you feel about this. Should we teach our black kids to respect the police and comply when they get arrested, so that they can go home alive? Because I feel like a lot of our black young men, they want to fight with the police. They don't want to comply. They don't want to listen. They want to do their own thing. And I don't know. I feel like that's how some of them get shot because emotions get high. So how do you
I
feel like
agree.
as black women should should educate our kids and get them ready so that they can at least go home alive? What should we tell our black kids, our black boys?
I completely agree with that. So I'm also raising black children. My son understands a little bit more because I'm a police officer. However, if I wasn't a police officer, I would make sure that the hands are always visible, that they're not reaching, that they're not being disrespectful. Because like you said, tensions are high, and a police officer is there to do their job, but they want to go home at the end of the day as well. When I'm, for instance, when I'm on a traffic stop, I want to make sure that I'm always seeing that person's hands because okay, prime example. When I was in the police academy, this is where I fucked up. It only took me one time to fuck up. I was on a police officer and I was on a traffic stop, and I'm I'm personable. I'm very goofy 9 times out of 10. Like unless I don't have to be, like I'm very like just me. Um, but I was on a traffic stop, and the person, it wasn't a real traffic stop. It was just like scenarios. The person had a loaded firearm, and they had their hands shown at first, but I seen a weapon on the counter, so I told that person to get out. Obviously, I said, like, hey, I see a weapon, just go ahead and get out the vehicle for me. He pretended like he had issues with his legs, and he got out the vehicle and had another loaded firearm and shot me. So it
Oh,
only takes that one mistake to be like, okay, we'll make sure that person's hands are completely visible. That's when you make them open the door with, outside of the vehicle so you can always see their hands at all times. So it's a shitty world that we're in that has to be a thing, but it's gonna forever be a thing. So we have to make sure that we can prepare our children the right way, whether they're black or white. I mean, a parent, I know we're in a world now where race is still a thing, and it sucks that it's still a thing. But whether they're black or white, I feel like we need to teach our children, regardless of how they should react when they're interacting with police officers.
Right. So how would you advise us to talk to our kids about the police? What should we tell them growing up? Like what would you recommend we speak to them about? Like what should we tell them to prepare them for being arrested? Just any advice for any parents listening.
I mean, I would never want to prepare my child for getting arrested. Um, but if they were in that situation, I would just make sure that they comply. Like, listen, do whatever the police officer does. Respect. If they're being disrespectful, whenever you get to where you got to get to, make a report. Um, I would never advise my children to be aggressive um, or to take matters into their own hands. I would definitely, like I said, tell them to respect and do what they're told. Again, because of the world that we're in.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And thank you. So one last question. Sorry, Father, just one last question. That also somebody
All
put
right. All right,
Mhm.
go ahead.
in
Yeah.
the chat. A lot of times when I'm a victim of domestic abuse, I'm a victim of domestic abuse, and
Mhm.
I often hear men on this chat saying that in a case of domestic abuse, if a woman hits a man, you guys, the police, always gives the woman benefit of the doubt, and you arrest the guy. So I mean, like in those situations, how do you handle
I
domestic
arrest
abuse
both.
situations when a woman hits a man, for example?
So, where I work, I can only speak for where I work because every state is different. We arrest the attacker. So whether it's a male or a female, we arrest the attacker. And believe it or not, we arrest more females than we do men.
And it goes. What does that go to show, Kay? That y'all arrest more women? What does that mean?
That they're aggressive.
Oh, oh,
Mm.
oh, oh.
Well, there you have it,
But
Okay.
my
man.
situation is different because it's based off where I work.
Okay.
So, like in town, more men are arrested for domestic violence. But where I work, and I'm not going to disclose where I work, it's different because the circumstances are different. So
Okay.
it's like I said, it all
So
varies.
do you think in a general situation, if you go into a domestic abuse situation and a man and a woman are arguing, you don't know who's right or wrong, you don't know who hit who. What's your first instinct? Do you side more with the
So
woman
if
or
they
the man?
both
Because a lot
hit
of men
each
think,
other, they're both getting arrested. So if the man hit the female and the female hit the man, it's not our job to figure out who did what. It's not our job. All we know is that they both hit each other, so they're both going to get arrested.
But they.
That's how I work. Um, Now, I know that some people believe that men are naturally stronger than women, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But I feel like if they're both hitting each other, they should both get the same punishment. Again, that's up to the judge. Like the judge will determine all that. That's the judge and the lawyers and all. That's what they're supposed to do. But preliminary, they just both go. If you can't figure out who did what, it's like I said, it's not our job to do that. They both go.
Or they'll ask the woman, listen, I could arrest them, but you're gonna have to go too.
Um, It depends. If now, so there's cases where men just really just beat the heck. I'm gonna just watch my language out of females, and the females do not do. They don't hit them back, and the men actually will openly admit that. Like she didn't hit me, I just beat her ass. Okay, that at that
Ooh,
point he will go. You get
he's
what I'm
done.
saying? Or the female would be like, well, he didn't hit me, or whatever case me, I just started attacking him, then she will go. But if they openly both say, like, I hit her, he hit me, then they both go. I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, he's gonna go. I'm not gonna that's not my job. My job is to make sure everyone is safe. So I'm gonna do what I have to do, then leave it up to the judge and the lawyers and they can figure that all out.
so what if there are kids involved? Let's say there are kids in the house and you don't know who did what. So are you going to arrest both parents, or how do you
Yes,
handle
but
that?
at different times. So so what I do in those situations, I would either if we I can't okay. So if it's available, I will call someone to the residence, someone that the family is comfortable with. And then we'll take both obviously in separate cars. If like for instance, if it's a female, I'll take the female, my coworkers will take the men. Um Or if that's not an option, we will allow one parent to stay with the children if they're not comfortable with that. Again, this is all severity of the situation as well. If that's not an option, we'll call another patrol until we can get someone that's reliable there to stay. So, like I said, I'm a female, so 9 times out of 10, I will stay with the children, and I will let my coworkers take the subjects and do what they got to do, process them. And if they're getting released, we'll do a courtesy escort and allow one parent to stay, but we will never bring both parents back.
Okay. Okay. So Valentina, thank you for your input. Now what I want to ask you is because you might have a bias or unbiased, right, when dealing with race.
So I don't have a bias because okay, so I was adopted and my adopted mom is white.
Hmm. Okay.
So again, I don't see race. I see people. um I don't teach my kids to see race, and if they, kids are inquisitive. They just pick up on things. So when my kids say something regarding race, I quickly correct them. However, people are not like that. Like, I remember I didn't acknowledge it, but I went into a grocery store. I had on my full uniform, and a little kid was like, "Mom, look, it's a black cop." It was a little white boy, and the mom didn't do anything to correct that. That's the problem. I feel like that's a big issue. I feel like we are in 2021. Racism isn't inherited, it is taught. I feel like more people should be more like, okay, well, we're in 2021 now. We should just like understand that there are different people. You don't have to like them, but you should respect them. You should respect their thoughts. You should respect their differences. And if you don't like them, don't speak to them. It's that simple. Um, I'm in a situation where I have been taught very well. Shout out to my mom, she's great. And I don't see race. So, and even if someone is being racist towards me, I have very thick skin. I can handle it. Um, so yeah.
Okay. All right. So um yeah, so let me ask you this before this is probably gonna be like my last question before I go into like a few of the comments people made or questions they made, and then we could just end it here, because I think there's been a positive stream. We didn't get ratchet, we didn't get ghetto. I think it was
Except for that picture you showed, that was definitely, you did me
constructive.
dirty.
I did you
Don't do
dirty.
it.
Um,
What, with this one?
No, the West Side one.
This one?
No,
You showing your body? She got body yada yada yada. This
yeah,
one.
you're funny. That
What's
one.
wrong with that? There's not that. That just means you
I'm,
you from the west side. You from the west side of town.
I'm
um,
telling you, I was 18.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, you look the same. You look the same.
I do. I do look the same. I don't really age.
Yeah, that's that Dominican in you. You heard
Yeah.
the Dominican in you. Now, all right.
excuse me, Fighter. I think this has been one of your better streams.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, hey, in this channel, Jose, we do everything. We speak on boxing, fitness, dating, racial issues, political, celebrity. And today, I think this was very constructive. It was more positive, but this channel is always lit. So that's why I try to keep that variety in here for everyone. This is like cable TV, you
Yeah.
get everything.
Now, there's one thing I do think I need to address though.
Go ahead.
I don't know how the word got out that people need to fear me. Okay, because I don't come
Oh,
across.
yes, yeah. Someone said that. Someone said that.
Someone
Yeah,
said what?
Oh no, oh, no, no. Okay, this is like YouTube high school politics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Your country woman said that.
okay. Well,
Yeah, it came out of her mouth and it's recorded.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because look, all I'm trying to do, I'm a fellow YouTube creator as well. All I'm trying to do is create positive content. Okay. And I know for some people, I'm not exactly their cup of tea. Some people might consider me boring. Okay. So be it. But the whole thing about people fearing me, that's not how I go.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why she said that. I don't know why. No one pretty much fears anyone here because we're just behind the screen. We're behind computers. Now in person, people would definitely react different. We know that. But here, everyone's tough. Everyone speaks crazy. But when it comes to human face to face interaction, 95% of the people here will have no voice.
Okay.
And we know that. And listen, Jose, like I said, I have no issue with you. You never disrespected me. I never disrespected you. And like all I said was, why is she saying that we're supposed to be afraid of? We already know that a socially inept guy, right? Who's like, yo, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. It's like that crew over there is like a group of people that are childless and they want to judge the whole world. You know, and like they want to run they want to run these rhetorics and these speaking points and the school of thoughts, and they want to lead people, but they don't even have they haven't even have proved to themselves or to us that they could even run something like the family unit. So how dare you think you can run a whole ethnicity and millions of people? So that says more a lot about them than us. Because at least on this side, because whether you believe it or not, the groups has separated a little bit. You can't tell, but I could tell. And it's funny how on this side, it seems like people are more balanced and they don't take on these liberal social media, TV media personalities. So it's almost like they let uh pop culture microwave sentiments fulfill their mind and speak for themselves. It's almost like they're robotic.
Hmm.
And I know, and Jose, I mess with you. I have no issue with you, bro. Man and man, I have no issue with you. But it's just the people that you deal with,
Hmm.
they.
Well, all I gotta look. All I'm gonna say is this. You know, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, and it's okay. And I'm just going to continue to be myself.
And you welcome here. Look, you came through. You asked Kay some good questions that I was like, man, I wouldn't ask her that. So hey, listen, I let everyone come here. Jose, I have no issue with you, bro. You could come here whenever you want, brother. And you're an
Okay.
older man, and I show respect.
No, it's just that when when my name got mentioned, all this, the
Mhm.
first thing I thought about, does Fighter has an issue with me?
Oh no, no, no. There's no issue, bro. No issue. I'm not afraid to address anyone. There's no issue. I have no
That's
issue with you.
true.
Yeah, yeah. There's no issue. You're cool. You cool. You never disrespecting me. I can't disrespect you.
Mhm. Okay.
Right.
Well,
So,
I appreciate that.
all right, no problem, Jose. Hey, thank you.
What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna hop off so I can give other people a fair opportunity to address your guest.
You,
Just be safe. That's all I gotta say.
hey, thank you, bro. Thank you much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Have
very
a good
much.
night.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up soon, anyways. We're gonna wrap this up soon, anyways. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the thing. Where's it at? They had like a new feature where you could save like certain comments.
I don't know. This is the first time I've
Oh,
been
it's
on
right here.
here.
It's right here. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, yeah. This YouTube is. Listen, let me tell you something. Like, we found out about this YouTube space about. Well, I found out about it a year and a half ago. Well, this is about a time like 2 years ago and a year and a half ago when you could go live and people could hop on
Hmm.
and this is like a newer thing. And I'm thinking, oh, this is all innocent. No, but people in here, people have met up with other people. Right? Yeah.
That's crazy.
People like as far as look on a positive note, I've met people here on a positive note, like, oh, let's
Hmm.
all hang out. We've done that because locally, like People live, in the tri-state area, New York and everything.
Right.
Or sometimes negatively. Two people in DR met up and fought, and it was live. Like it get crazy in here,
That's
man.
crazy.
It get crazy in here. People sleep with people. People expose people or they dox them like, oh, look, this is where this person live,
Yeah,
or
nah. It's
this is
slow.
people been fired like it's off their job because of this what they share on here. But like I know a lot of people here, they speak, they talk tough and this and that, and everyone's a player, everyone is rich, everyone is smart. But if you meet them in real life, it's like they're pitiful.
Hmm.
But like I'm gonna get straight to the point. I mean, like I'm gonna get straight to the comments. So we
Hold
about
on a
to end
second.
this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We about to end it. Oh man, we about to end it. We about to end it.
Okay.
We about to end it. So, all right, I might just read these comments and we're gonna end it.
All right, cool.
I don't want to cause no issue. So, all right. So J Dub says cops should be paid like bartenders by tips. Really?
Negative.
Negative, huh? Oh, J
No,
Dub by
so like
tips.
people try to pay with no cap. People like, so if I give them a ticket, like, oh, can I just pay you right now? Like, no, there's a process. Like, go through the process, because if I take that money, there's no. What if I'm not the person that I think like you think I am? What if I take that money and go buy me a new pair of Uggs? Like, how do you know that? Even though I would never do that, but how do
Right.
you? Why would you even want to do that?
Right. Yo,
So
word. You could do that too.
I could. So
You
no,
could.
I never take
You
money or
new
gifts from
Uggs.
anybody.
You ain't shit, yo. You ain't shit, yo. All right. Oh, what about this? Has anyone tried to bribe you before?
Not really bribe me, but definitely try to sweet talk me. Like, somebody was like, "Can I take you on a date?" Or the one I get the most is, "Can I get your number?" Like, no, that's a hard no. You can go ahead and take this ticket, or you can call my number 911 if you need me. That's about it. Like,
Damn.
no. But
Damn.
people definitely try to. Definitely try to shoot their shot.
Oh, yeah, I would ask you a question, but you're married, so that's not even. All right. So, Kay, you sound passionate about finding a bridge between black and blue lives. And honestly, I can really see police as being role models for the community. I grew up in PAL and their programs. Yeah, before you go in on that, um, yeah, PAL, like the police athletic league, many boxers started off of PAL. Many boxers started off of PAL, and we already remember like the DARE programs. I'm not gonna lie, the DARE program got to me.
It ain't get to a lot of people.
Listen, it got to me. I still used it, but it definitely listen. It definitely prolonged my usage. You know,
Okay.
it delayed
Okay.
it. But even to this day, I never, because I was always into boxing and athletics, so I
Yeah.
never really, I used it sparingly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um. To piggyback off that, like, I am very pro Blue Lives Matter, pro Black Lives Matter. I support every protest. Um, I support everyone as long as they're doing it in a way where people are not getting hurt. Um, that's the problem with some of these protests, is that they are trying to get their point across, and people, and even when I say, like, I made a post one time and was like, okay, well, we're not going to get peaceful out of violence. Violence and violence is not going to help. People was like, well, they're not hearing me. If you're being violent, they're still not going to hear you. They're going to react, but not the reaction that you're expecting to get. Um, like I said, I support both movements 110%. I just want to make sure everyone's doing it in a way where people are hearing them. Like, you can talk. There's a difference between talking and being heard. There's a major difference. And some of these movements, they're just talking and not being heard, is because of how they're doing it. So I'll definitely hope that people will revisit their tactics and reapproach how they want to get their point across. That's it.
like, and I must add real quick because I want to end this quick. I'm just there's only 3 more comments left. Uh, One time I remember, I'll never forget this. It was an elementary school, and they had the police come through, and I don't know what they were doing, and it was more like fear mongering. They came through and they approached one random student and they said, "You know what this is?" And he's like, "Yeah." And like, "What is it?" handcuffs. He said, "Yeah, if you be bad, we're gonna put this on you." I'm
I
like,
hate that.
"Damn, yo!" I'm like, it was kind of like what's that show? That TV
Scared
show where they
straight.
take it? Yeah, it's like Beyond Scared Straight, and it was like weird.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, and that's why, like, when I'm walking through the grocery store, and people are like, well, there goes a police officer, they're gonna arrest you because you're being bad. No, I don't like that because people. That's how people fear cops. They think
And they have
that
like
if
a
they're
negative and fuck the police. Like
yes, I don't like that.
it'd be the weirdest little kid,
Yep, I don't like that.
frail as
I
hell, weirdo, never got in a fight day in his life, don't know how
yeah,
to do anything. Fuck the
I don't.
police because it's cool. Because it's
Yeah, I
cool.
don't. We don't
Yeah.
do the scare tactics where I work. People have actually called us to see if we can do that, and we don't because we again we're in a time where people hate cops, people want to hurt cops, but just because of a badge and gun. So we don't do that.
Okay. So right there, IR Matrix says, I know police smoke marijuana. I know. I mean, there's people that do it. Is at the end of the day,
I mean, I'm pretty
human.
sure there are. I personally don't because again, I like my job, and if I smoke weed, I get fired. So I'm not about to sit there and risk my life for a fucking drug. I'm not doing that. Not
Yeah.
saying that I'm not like if you do it, you do it. Cool, that's your business.
Yeah.
However, I'm
Yeah.
personally not going to do it because we get randomly drug tested. Why the hell?
Right. Right.
I have family. I have kids to
Right.
support. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
a home to upkeep. I would
Yeah.
never risk that for something
Yeah.
like that.
The truck drivers, CDL, right? I got it. I did my trade for my CDL for truck driving. You know, I'm not supposed to smoke weed, right? There's people that are not supposed to smoke weed, and some people do it.
I
You
mean,
know,
people are not supposed to do a lot of things, and
a
they
lot of
still do
things
it. We're
and they
human.
do
We're
it,
flawed.
and,
That's just part
and,
of
and
human nature.
that's why you have a job right now.
Yeah, because I don't.
Right, right. All right. So this is the second to last comment. I have understood the man always gets taken away and put through the system, even if she hits him. I mean, it's the
Again,
double
it
standard. I
varies
think
from
it's the
state
double
to state.
standard.
It is a double standard, but however, I don't work on that double standard. I have seen that in other agencies. In my agency, though, is the aggressor, and if it's not the aggressor, if they both have put their hands on each other, they're both going. That's just how therapy is bad. Go see a priest. Um, that's just how we work where I work. So I can't, like I said, I can't speak on other people. I can only speak on what I do and how we move. So yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say thank you for joining
Hmm.
tonight.
You're welcome.
Um, I still kind of believe women shouldn't be in the police force. Um, damn, we didn't even get to speak on working in a prison. That's a whole different other thing, but that could maybe be a part two in the future, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I still don't think, but you have slightly tweaked my perception on it because
Hmm.
you said there are instances when a woman is needed.
Hmm.
So I'm a very open-minded person, and I wanted this conversation not to be an attack on like, oh, women should not. You know what I'm saying, like, you stay in
Hmm.
the kitchen, even though I like women who cook. You know what I'm saying? But like, oh wait,
My
do
husband cook
you,
better than me.
your husband cook better than you?
Facts. My husband
Do-
can throw
We
down.
down? Okay, okay. Um, but yeah, listen. Um, it's a pleasure to speak to you here on this live, and I think personally that you're one of the good police,
Thank you.
and I think personally most police are good and they're not bad. I think it's just there's bad seeds in everything,
Hmm.
and sometimes we're humans, we make mistakes, we make errors,
Hmm.
and when the dynamic sometimes of two people dealing with each other, a situation can turn ugly.
Yeah, and
But
the only problem with people with police officers, they think that police officers should make mistakes.
yeah,
Um, however, I don't think we should make life-threatening mistakes. However,
yeah,
every situation and every encounter we come through is a learning experience.
right.
I wouldn't learn if I haven't made mistakes. I'm not gonna say I haven't made mistakes as a police officer because I have, but I haven't, and I will not, and I try not to make mistakes where people will actually get hurt or die. Those are mistakes that I never want to make, and I pride myself on not making. But little mistakes here and there, like they happen. I'm human. Like I said, human. We're flawed. We're gonna make mistakes. And that's how we learn.
Yep. Yeah. So all right, Sundown hopped in. He's in the military. Sunday, I'm about to close it out, but maybe if you want to make a quick question to her and then she can respond, that way we can end it because maybe
Okay.
she.
My
Yeah, yeah.
bad. My
All right, so
bad.
go ahead, bro. Yeah, go
Now,
ahead.
so what would you say is the if you could say anything to like the inner city, because you do know like in the inner city there's a huge disrespect towards like the police officers where people usually don't like to comply with them and they think negatively of them.
Mhm.
What would you say are some steps that you could maybe take to educate them and let them know that hey, we're not the enemy. We're not the guys that are going through trying to purposely find people doing something wrong and beat them over the head or kill them because we talked about this before where if you look at all the traffic like say all the traffic citations or all the traffic stops that go on all over America as a whole and then you look at the cases of people being killed or people being like I guess you could say abused by cops, it's minuscule to the overall percentage of daily interactions between civilians and police officers. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think a major key component to that is community policing. Get out there and interact with your community. Let them see you in another light rather than just being called out there and having to arrest somebody. I think that is really, really important. Like, for instance, if you see a group of dudes playing basketball, go play basketball with them while you're on duty. If you're seeing little kids handing out lemonade, if you don't have a call, go out there and hand out lemonade with them. Um, I feel like that's what changes people's mentality. Like, okay, well, they're here to help us. They're here to be a part of us. You get what I'm saying? Rather than just being out there when we're called and then boom, we have to be the bad guy because we have to put someone in handcuffs.
Yeah. And would you happen to say, would you think that, because remember what you said earlier? You were like, instead of, just critiquing, saying, hey, you should do this or you should do that, police officers should do this, you actually joined so that you could put forth an effort to at least initiate some change on your end to
Mhm.
make the police force better so that when you leave, it'll be in better condition than it was when you joined. Do you actually see any of the fruits of your labor?
Um, like I said in my department, yeah, because like I said, I try to get everyone involved in everything. So in my department, yes, but I can only speak for what we do on our end. Like I said, that community thing, we do that where I work. Um, we are doing like Toys for Tots. One of my lieutenants suggested a family where we'll support their Christmas. So that's stuff that we do. Um, but again, not every agency or department does that. Some people are still making up for shit that their police officer has already done. So it's a little harder for them. Um, so again, it all depends on the person that is working there and the department and the environment itself.
All right. All
And if
right.
there was one thing as far as education, my last question,
Yeah.
as far
Okay.
as education goes, um, so the military, we have our own police force,
Mhm.
and they do a lot of training with like civilian police departments, mainly like SWAT teams and stuff like that. And the one thing that they've always said about the civilians was either they were really out of shape or they didn't know the material like they were supposed to know the material. So when they would train with them, there was that one common factor of like either these guys are really out of shape or these guys don't know uh, how to conduct this or how to conduct this. So it feels like we're kind of, walking them by the hand when it comes to tactics and stuff like that. As a police officer, would you make it like a requirement for them to have mandatory? Because I understand, like as a police officer, when once you swear in and you get your badge, it's up to you to study that material and master that material. Would you make it mandatory, say weekly, where they would have to devote X amount of time for this material? And then at the end of the week, they would get quizzed on it just to make sure that they're keeping up on their end with what they're supposed to be knowledgeable on. So that way, accidents, malfunctions, and stuff like that wouldn't happen as much as it does.
Yeah. So again, I can only speak on my department. We go through trainings every other week. So we work on teams. One team goes on training one on A week, and we'll go on B week, and then vice versa. Those who miss will go on the third week, and then have we'll work together on the fourth week. So we do that. I think it's important. Like if you, like for instance, you said you are you work on a military base, and you know they have civilians, and they have military members. I think that they should be on the same sheet of music, because at the end of the day, they're doing the same thing, whether they're a green suitor or a blue suitor. Um, I think that they should be trained the same way. I think that they should be expected to do the same things. I don't think that one should get trained better than the other, because at the end of the day, again, they're doing the same thing. Um, I think that it is important that every department make sure they keep their officers up to date in their trainings. I don't think it should be how I say it, I don't think it should be up to the police officer to find that training. I think it's up to the department to make sure that training is provided. I think that the police officer or the person should be in charge of keeping it up. Meaning, like if we have combatives on month one, but we shouldn't have to, as a police officer, you should be keeping up with that skill instead of waiting until week 7 to redo it again. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. So Sundown, I want to thank you for your input coming through, asking your questions. Um and yeah, I'm gonna end this live now. Kay, don't leave yet. Don't but I want to talk to you 2 seconds in backstage. But listen, this was a great live. See, I could bring y'all the ratchet and I could be constructive also. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, make sure you know the protocol. Hit the like button, follow the Instagram, follow the Complex 7, the Twitter, follow the Complex. I was the first to do it in this space, bring a police officer, you know, so y'all could bite me now if y'all want. Y'all so woke. Y'all want down for the culture, y'all want the unity, but this is not the type of things y'all do, you know. So I'm showing y'all how it's done. So hey, I'm gonna play this music video real quick. Free smoke, free smoke. And thank you, Sundown, for hopping in. And yeah.
You in danger. Oh, fuck out here. 1,000 volts, aim the 40 cal, let it blow when you dope. You niggas want no smoke. Old school, I stole the low coat. I didn't buy it, but I got some dope if you wanna try it. 1,000 volts, aim the 40 cal, let it blow when you dope. You niggas want no smoke. Old school, I stole the low coat. I didn't buy it, but I got some dope if you wanna try it. Motherfucker, fuck out here.
All right, thank you everyone for all my contributors. Thank you for everyone joining in. Comments, likes, subscribe, shares, everything. Stay dangerous. I might go live tomorrow, and after that, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna keep uploading videos. Y'all make sure y'all check in that my Tateo vlog video what I did in Dominican Republic. But yo, peace out to y'all. I'm signing out. Stay dangerous. And until next time, just remember I'm the dopest channel on here. You heard? Peace.